Hello students. Uh, in the chapter number 16, that is garbage in, garbage out, this chapter, I think the total explanation is clear to you now. Today we will be starting with the NCERT solution, NCERT solved questions. There are total 6 questions. I will give you 3 questions today and the rest 3 questions I'll give you tomorrow. Okay, so let's start. First one, which kind of garbage is not converted into compost by the redworms? Anyone? Yes. Basically, the garbages which are non-biodegradable. Now, what do you mean by non-biodegradable? That is, by biological origin or by naturally they are not decomposed or they are not simplified into simple substances. They don't decompose, they don't rot on their own. Naturally, they don't do. So, what are the examples? Like broken glass, aluminium wrappers, plastic items, polythene bags. These are the non biodegradable items that cannot be converted into compost by redworms. Have you seen any other organism beside redworms in your peat? If yes, try to find their names. Draw a picture of this. See, I haven't given the picture of this because this is not very important for you. Okay. So, yes, saprophytic organisms. Now, what do you mean by saprophytic organisms or saprophytes? This is the organism which are dependent on dead bodies. They dependent on rotten bodies and get nutrition from there. So, what are the examples like moles? Moles are which color? White, black, or grayish? Here you can see a very significant point, that is any green plant is definitely not saprophytic. Here I had mentioned the colors white, black or grayish. Neither of the colors are here as green. Why? Because if green is present, obviously they will go for photosynthesis, nothing else. Okay, they cannot photosynthesize because they don't have the chlorophyll, they don't have green in color, so they are white or black or grayish or cotton, this color, and obviously they cannot photosynthesize, so they depend on other dead bodies. And also bacteria, there are certain bacteria that help in the decomposing of the biodegradable substances. Okay, so from this question, it is clear that the non-biodegradable items cannot be decomposed by the redworms. And also, apart from redworms, there are many saprophytic organisms, there are many bacteria which can be seen to transform the biodegradable items and helps them to decompose. The next question is, discuss, is garbage disposal the responsibility only of the government? Is it possible to reduce the problems relating to disposal of garbage? What do you think? Is this only the responsibility of the government? No. So, along with the government, local municipality also have to take charge of this garbage disposal. But for the most importantly, the citizens, every citizen has to come forward for this garbage disposal system, because a clean environment is necessary for all of us. If you come to the class and if you see it is a total mess all around, the garbages, unwanted useless substances are lying around, there are dust, there are not a very clean atmosphere, will you be able to do the class? Will you like the environment? Obviously, no. So, this is actually the case with our environment where we live. We definitely will not be liking to live in such a place which is totally surrounded by the garbages. So, garbage disposal also is our responsibility. That means we should always throw the garbage at the proper places, or so that it can be collected by the kurawala or kachrawala or safai karmachari easily. Because if you keep on throwing the garbage here and there, definitely it is very impossible for them to collect it from all over places. Okay, and also it is very important for every one of us to collect the garbage in a proper way every day and dispose it in a proper manner. We should not throw the garbage just outside our house. Inside of our house, it's decorated with the furniture, and outside, okay, fine, that area is not mine, so it's not my responsibility. Definitely not. This is also my responsibility. My responsibility is to keep the home clean as well as the surrounding places clean. Okay. Now, is it possible to reduce the problem relating to the disposal of garbage? Yes, it is possible to reduce the problems. Why or how? Number one, garbage should be thrown in proper places. Okay, proper places means every street or every locality has a place where the garbages are thrown. We should always follow that. We should not throw the garbage here and there, or we should not keep the garbage just lying around. Okay, the part of the garbage that can be reused should be separated from the one that cannot be used. While teaching, I had explained this very much, that the garbage has got two parts. One is the useful and another one is the useless component. Useful component mean the material or the components which can go for recycling or reuse. But at the same time, there are certain other substances which cannot be formed into compost or vermicompost, or uh, they cannot be sent to reuse or recycle. So that substances are known as the useless components of the garbage, which has to be only thrown or only selected for landfills. Okay, so the separation process should be done by us. And 3R, remember 3R, while teaching I was emphasizing on this point, that is reduce, reuse and recycle. Now what do you mean by reduce? Reduce means use the things in minimum amount which is required for fulfilling your requirement. Okay, next is the recycle. That means the plastic, paper, then the metals which are separated from the garbage now may be sent to recycle to make the new things instead of dumping them along with the waste. And reuse means use it again and again. For example, plastic bottles, say jam or pickle containers, should be used to store some other spices, salt, sugar, so long it lasts. Because ultimately, I mean, it is not the container that will last for, say, hundreds and thousands of years. So definitely we will reuse so long it lasts. Okay, so are you clear with it? Are you clear with the concept? That is, the in the waste disposal has to be done regularly in a disciplined manner, in a proper way. And in order to reduce the waste, we should take up certain points, like we should not be throwing the waste into the streets. We should separate the useful and non-useful component for waste disposal. And it's very, very, very important to keep it in our mind, the concept of 3R. Another question, that is, what do you do with the leftover food at home? Tell me. Students, you tell me, what do you do with the leftover food? Okay? Majority time we leave them, we throw them in the garbage. Later, rather than doing that, we can keep this vegetable waste and leftover food like vegetable peels, paper, etc. We can dump it into compost pit and convert into manure. Why? Because it is the natural fertilizer. It has got no harm to the soil and as well as the crops. So we can use it as a safe manure. Okay. And also the I mean, along with the composting, vermicomposting also we can do with the worms, but that we have to do it separately. As it means we have to buy the red worms and we have to continue with the process. Now, if you and your friends are given the choice of eating in a plastic plate or a banana leaf at a party, which one would you prefer and why? Tell me, which one would you prefer? Yes, definitely we will prefer the banana leaf because why? Because it is easily converted to manure by composting. Plastic plate can be recycled, but in this process it gives out harmful gases which pollute the environment. And also plastic, all the plastics like those who are not preferred by government, these plastics are not easily recyclable. So it's always better to avoid the use of plastic. And also a very important point is that plastic items cannot be converted to manure by composting or vermicomposting by any of the processes. So it's better always to leave out the plastic and take the banana leaf. I hope these three questions you have understood well. These questions, all of you, please write in a school science copy. Okay, this is your homework. You will write this in your school science copy. Tomorrow again we will do rest three questions. Till then, stay safe. Thank you.